Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, your executive producer here, and thanks for tuning in to watch or listen to whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to. In these trying times, we really do appreciate everyone that feels that we are worth their time, and we hope that we're able to give you something entertaining to while away the time as you spend it. We particularly want to thank those of you that feel like we're worth financially contributing to, particularly our $25 and up supporters on Patreon, who are Antitonic, Drevian Alexander, Catwater Flame, Rowan Parker, and Samantha Bates. Yes, I read that off of a list. Thank you very much for supporting us. I know that in these uncertain times, finances are tough for everybody, so that you're willing to donate to us means a lot to all of us here, and we thank you. That being said, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gran, Terra, Shadowfront. I updated the category to Dungeons & Dragons, and then it reverted back to World of Darkness, and then I updated it to Dungeons & Dragons again, so if you're watching it, it looks like it says World of Darkness refreshed, and it should say Dungeons & Dragons. I'm John, I'm your Game
World
Master.
of Darkness fans!
We tricked you. That was yesterday.
Come by on Wednesdays. We legitimately play World of Darkness regularly.
It's okay. There are no World of Darkness fans. How much do we shit on World of Darkness collectively?
You can shit
All the
on
time.
something and still be a fan of it.
I know. I'm teasing.
This is true.
Anyways,
Mister, I think Dragon Ball Z is a good movie.
I
Not
do.
Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Evolution.
sorry, Dragon Ball Evolution. I don't think it's a good movie. I think it's a fun movie, and there's a difference. Anyways, I'm John. I'm your Game Master. I'm me. And
I'm disgusted. I have to go.
Thank you! Thank you!
Ugh.
Thank you!
I'm
I'm
John.
crying.
insanity.
I'm disgusted.
I'm your Game Master. I'm joined today by
I hate
Nikki.
that movie so much. Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm disgusted with my dungeon master. I have to go home now. I'm playing your goblin rogue, Scuzz. Black Lives Matter, cops can go suck a dick, and Megan Fox did not deserve to be blacklisted by Michael Bay. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Yes!
I'm in a mood tonight, y'all.
Yes!
Come at.
And William.
Coming for you.
Oh, hi, I'm William, and there's been a whole lot of talk about directors today, but honestly, if I was going to be any director, it would just be Duncan Jones.
And Jeremy.
I like how we have no idea who William's playing.
Oh yes, I'm playing Valdeth, the Dwarven Samurai.
I figured it out.
Oh my god. I am so happy with how far we have pushed this intro off the rails. Hello, I am Jeremy. I am playing Argall, Asmar. I almost said Barbarian, and I don't know why.
Hope is why.
I know why.
Asmar Gunslinger, and Megan Fox fucked over by so many. Jennifer's Body. Watch it. You must.
Out of context, it's a very weird sentence.
It's a phenomenal movie. It's just it's biculture. It is all of it. Yeah.
It is.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Titania Valkorian, a Ladrin Druid Princess.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Erin. I'm playing Carolina, the human barbarian, and I think the Michael Bay movie the Dragon Ball Z movie that feels most like it was directed by Michael Bay is probably Bio Broly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is the 14th movie.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen them all.
Me too. And Jack.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Gent Minar, the half-elf spellslinger, and my garbage Michael Bay movie of choice is The Island.
Yes. Legit.
And Cody.
Hi, I'm Cody, and I'm playing Ithram Valar, the Hobgoblin War Wizard.
And before we begin, I just want to remind everyone that in support of trans rights, Alex Winter shared the Black Trans Pride flag, which confused a lot of people and was fantastic on Twitter.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Alex Winter's a cool guy.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that not a one of us had the same like random intro spiel going off the
Yeah.
None
side.
of us, not one.
That was the gimmick this week. If you didn't figure it out, we all picked entirely different
gimmicks.
I was just angry. No, that was
When
It's
last we
fucking
left
2020.
off,
All bets are off.
I'm just here to entertain. When last we left off, the group had determined that a soulstone they might be looking for potentially was in the headquarters of the Argall Trading Company, and in order to get close to ascertain whether or not it was there and they could acquire it, the Steelhearts had accepted an application to interview for guard duty for an upcoming auction. The interview would be today because the auction is tomorrow. And so they had gone up to the Argall Trading Headquarters Company where they were met with Cal Argall. Again, Cal stands at about 5'8", so shorter than several of you. Has dark hair that ends in sort of reddish brown tips and these sort of brilliantly smoldering yellow eyes. Very lithe human form. Looks fairly young, most of you would gauge probably around 23, 24 maybe, like just sort of just looking at him. Though he has a very strong presence for his small form. Dressed very nicely in mostly black, as he sort of has just recently introduced himself to you as Cal Argall. So, if you'd like to follow me, we'll talk about your qualifications and give you the rundown of what the job will entail and see if you are a fit for what we're looking for. You wouldn't mind following me. As he turns on his heel and just sort of begins walking away.
Of course.
Ariel, in the
I'll
back of
follow
your
along.
head, Esme is uncomfortable with this person and cannot tell you why.
They're not helpful, dear.
But like it's just like you're getting sort of like waves of mistrust, but also confusion. Like, there's just something instinctually about her that is warning her away from Cal Argall. But she
The
Ariel's
yellow
gonna
eyes.
back a little bit. Then, well, to go with the group, but it's definitely sort of hanging back where she can be observant and keep an eye out for ambushes.
Yeah.
And every chance, just let me know when at which various points, because there will be constantly checking. I can make insight rolls, so I'm just not rolling literally every round.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be.
Sure, absolutely. You can go ahead and make one now. Jack.
Okay.
I was gonna say Gent's. Has Gent ever seen these sort of eyes on a projecting as human individual before? Or has he heard anything about this sort of physiological presentation?
Make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, okay.
I got a 24.
Didn't the person in our vision have
13.
yellow eyes, or
The person in
Are
your
these
vision,
different?
the person in your vision has very similar eyes.
okay?
The silhouette is very similar eyes and very similarly sized, but the silhouette is different. Like
Okay.
the person in your vision has much wilder hair, but again very similar eyes. Aside from that, Jack, yellow eyes are uncommon in humans. They're typically a sign of some sort of thing, like certain sorcerers will have yellow eyes as a result of their latent magical abilities. Certain people that do sort of like magical modifications to their form might have yellow eyes. But in humans particularly, it is a very, very unusual color.
Demons who make deals with mothers regarding one of their kids.
Dragons tend to keep their original eye color whenever they transform. You guys recall that Max's eyes were the same color both in human form and dragon form, but the sclera on his were black instead of white, and Cal very clearly has white sclera, so it's probably not a dragon. But there is a feeling of something not quite right about him.
That everyone gets, or mostly just Ariel? Suspicious.
Gent in specifically, because he was thinking about it, and for everyone else, there's not really anything that comes off of him. It's just Gent thinking about the eyes. Ariel with a 24.
Cool.
You have never been this unable to read a person. Like you're sort of looking at the way he moves and the way he walks and the way he's been talking, or the way he was talking, the way he was looking at you, and like normally you can get something, even if it's just a little bit, like just like how he views you or how he views himself in relation to you, but like you can't get anything off of him right at the moment. You can't tell.
That's certainly putting me at ease.
You can't tell if he thinks he's superior to you. You can't tell if he thinks you're equals, anything like that. The things that you could normally tell just from the way people walk and the way people address you.
Got it.
But he leads you all into an office. It's a fairly spacious office, wood paneling on the floors and walls, with a series of display cases. I said series, not Siri. Sorry, my phone started dictating to me. A series of...
Like, did you mean?
Yeah. A series of display cases along the walls that have a variety of what look like very expensive artifacts and objects, none of which look like the thing you're looking for. They're pottery and a sword and jewelry and things like that, but nothing that looks like a soul stone. There are oddly exactly enough chairs for all of you and a small stool that Garnet could sit on. And a large wooden desk on the other side of which is a high-backed chair that he moves around and sits down in. Please take your seats.
Will do so.
Sit down.
Yeah.
Climb into a seat.
Stand behind a seat.
Garnet hops into the stool. Mm-hmm. So, we are specifically looking to hire Griffin companies. One at the moment, so we're interviewing a few. To blend into the crowd at an auction we're having tomorrow. We will have normal guards at the facility, so we're not asking you to perform traditional guard duties. Instead, we're hoping to have eyes around within the crowd for any unscrupulous customers, people who might be there to scout out for theft opportunities or anything. This auction is one of the very few times the items in particular that are being auctioned off are at their most vulnerable before they leave our possession and go to those of the people who will be buying them. And so it is the greatest risk that some people might have come into the audience with nefarious ideas in mind. And in that case, we would like people who can more easily blend in with the crowd to suss out any such activity and report it to the guards as necessary. If all goes well, you wouldn't be getting into any fights in particular. I'd be looking for your ability to spot suspicious activity and individuals who seem to be wanting to evade traditional scrutiny. Does this sound like something that is within your skill set?
Violet kind of looks over the group. We've got a few people skilled at various aspects of that particular job, yes? Magically and physically.
please feel free to extrapolate.
Well, she kind of
You could also
looks
make
across the group.
and you could also make that insight check in.
Okay.
She kind of looks across the group. Well, myself and Ariel are both a keen eye at reading individuals and also just a keen eye in general. Scuzz is quite skilled at not being noticed when he particularly doesn't wish to be. Ghent has a talent for finding a high vantage with a good view if we would like someone to have a longer view on a broader scale. Titania, as a druid, is capable of blending amongst the crowd in a even less visible way than perhaps even our goblin. And our wizards, and our wizard Ithram's ability to detect magic is perhaps vital in trying to determine if anyone might be trying to magically undermine the security of the situation.
In addition, Carolina and Ariel both have background in dealing with criminals, fugitives, that sort of thing. So they come by their training with plenty of experience.
Carolina in particular has a wealth of security experience.
Ghent, you're not sure why you didn't trust him earlier. This person seems perfectly trustworthy.
Okay, fair enough.
The best thing to get off a natural one is a feeling of complete and utter trust.
Oh, thank God, it was me.
Yeah, it was me all
me.
along. Ariel.
Why am I so racist all the time? God. Do better, man. Do better.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Why do I not trust humans?
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
Ariel, again,
Hard to read.
you are getting something in that you are getting that he is following Valdeth and like listening intently and like, but it's almost like he's letting you get this more than you are getting it yourself.
Right. So I'm less on this. I have less than Carolina on the security skills and more just the locating, hunting down, punishing, imprisoning, killing, etc. Those that need.
And I am more adept at dispelling and countering magic should it arise than as long as detecting.
A wide variety of skills, all of which can be
Yes.
useful in the task ahead. Well, I understand that recently you've done some work for the Tyrian military. They sing your praises, in fact. So I would not be disinclined to hire the Steelhearts. However, it will be a series of interviews that I'll be conducting throughout the rest of the day. Where might I reach you with a verdict?
Give the address of our current company house.
Good. I'll send a messenger along later in the day, regardless of whether or not we decide to go with you. Feel free to peruse around the building on your way out. The auction will not be here, but several of our staff will be, so if there's anybody who'd like to familiarize yourself with the site of, you will be seeing them again, should you be chosen to work this venue.
Of course.
He stands up,
That sounds lovely.
Yes, thank you.
gives you a smile that doesn't reach his eyes, and moves over to the door.
I'm gonna try and cast locate objects
Are you
while
trying
we're
to do
in
it?
here.
Are you trying
Sort
to
of
do it
subtly.
So go ahead and give me a sleight of hand roll.
Yep.
Can
Somehow
I
I-
assist
somehow I
her
doubt.
by making the most noise eating something?
What noise do you make?
Literally, the sound of like putting food in my mouth and just being like,
Make a performance roll.
perfect,
So
Yes.
excellent,
performance roll from Scuzz first.
woo!
Rolls a one,
One
chokes.
Scuzz.
Oh, I mean, I got a 12. That's a
Alright.
15 with the -3.
Holy crap! Yeah.
Cal pauses and turns to look at Scuzz. Go ahead and give me give me a sleight of hand with advantage, Titania.
I got you, Titania. I got
Thank
you,
you.
girl.
Let me get advantage.
My
Look, he eats. You know when you eat something too big and it's in one whole piece,
Oh, yeah.
you just have to like make all the noises.
Scuzz-
You can't take a bite. That's
Scuzz is
stupid.
furiously
That was exactly what I expected.
Scuzz is furiously masticating in public, and
Yeah. I have
You
like
Inspiration?
5 inspiration.
I was about to say like
I would
girl.
use one of those.
Yeah, I'm gonna use one. 4 inspiration. I'm gonna use one.
My
Fine. I'm sure his
God.
passive perception is 10.
This isn't advantage, is it?
His passive
No, this is supposed to be
perception
one more
may
roll.
be better than mine. I'm going to assume.
All right, I'm gonna try it. Come
And
on.
mine's obscene.
This is
My
exactly what I
God.
expected to happen.
Leave it at this point because it was a 5, a 4, and a 2.
so
Oh my god.
you cast
it.
detect object.
Use all
look
your
at object.
inspirations now.
You
On
cast.
one
You can only use it once. You can only use it
inconsequential
once.
roll.
So you cast locate object, looking for the item that you've seen. Can you put the
Yep.
description of locate object in the chat for me?
Yep. There it goes.
Uh,
Oh god.
So you say out loud, not thinking about it, because you gotta think, and you do the hand motions, and just out loud you go soul stone, and then you realize, and then all of you realize Titania said that out loud.
Vala kind of looks over her
My
shoulder.
chomping wasn't loud enough. I'm sorry.
Cal does not give away anything. He's just sort of looking at
Of
Scuzz,
course he doesn't.
and then turns back to the door.
I'm
Titania,
keeping my expression clean.
Titania, you don't get anything.
Gen's
No
just pinging the bridge of
reactions?
his nose.
What?
Nothing pings Titania.
Nothing? Nothing? Okay, I'm keeping concentration on that up.
He
Yes,
opens the door.
I cast the thing. I'm gonna use it.
He opens the door. You might want to get Scuzz's teeth checked. It sounded like something was stuck there.
Yeah, it was the food. They got stuck in my teeth.
And he gestures for you all to leave.
Start heading out.
You want
Pleasure.
to change those every 3 months, you know?
The same.
My teeth?
Wait till everybody's gone and then
Toothbrush.
I will exit.
Oh.
Yeah.
You
The
change
door-
your teeth out everything.
The door closes behind you. You're all in the hallway here at the Argall Trading Company.
We should.
And just drapes an arm around Titania's shoulders. Fancy a bit of shopping?
Yes. Absolutely.
Alright.
I definitely brought I wrote it down. This is very important. The good time sneaky cloak with me.
You've got it.
This is also a very important question. Is the good time sneaky cloak big enough? How like, is big enough to fit over a medium-sized creature?
It's big enough to fit 2 medium-sized creatures in it. Yeah.
Excellent.
Ooh.
Scuzz turns to Ithram. Hey, Ithram, you want to get underneath this good time sneaky cloak with me?
I don't think he was there for the demonstration. Oh wait, no, he
Oh, you were there. You were there.
Y'all were.
Everyone was.
It was beautiful.
Is
We
there?
can sneak around and try and find this soul stone.
Wasn't it there?
Not within 1,000 feet.
Perhaps in a bit. How about we just look around for a while and then try the sneaky cloak? Is that?
Okay, sorry, my child ran into the door.
I thought I heard a thump.
Oh.
What we're saying
fine.
is,
She's the
Traveling
fine,
at quite
the
the
kind
speed.
of ran into the door where the child is absolutely fine. But
Yeah, no,
I mean-
that was an excited kid thump, not a someone accidentally
What we're
hit my
saying is
child with a door. thump.
someone else also rolled a 5 on their stealth check.
Sneaky cloak later.
There you go.
So you can all give me. You can either all give me investigation checks, or you can each determine someone else that you're giving advantage to.
Oh, I'll give advantage to someone because my investigation's -1.
Mine's a +5.
So's mine.
I'll give Gant.
Mine is only a +4. So I will provide advantage to Scuzz.
Yay!
Man, we're picking low today, man.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably giving Ariel advantage then.
Ooh, a 21.
There you go, buddy.
Nice.
I'm low to the
That's not
ground.
just an excuse
Like
for not having my
a
character
director
together.
that shall not be named. Everything is 6 feet 6 inches from the ground, and therefore.
So the group of you spend some time as you were bid, getting familiarizing yourself with the staff and the people here at the Argall Trading Company. There's not a lot of people here at the headquarters. It's mostly receptionists and sort of like some trade managers, the kind of people that fill out paperwork on trade routes and sort of determine, the people that sign the deals and do the top level down work and then pass it along to other people to actually initialize and finalize. So it's mostly just them and the guards. You meet the captain of the guard, who is this very big, imposing, figure in full plate armor that's like sort of spiked in certain places and has a big great sword on his back. And then the some of the other guards that they have that are the private Argall Trading Company guards. And as you're doing so, you're also looking around for anything that might tip you off as to where this soul stone might be. At no point in time does your locate object ping it to Tanya as you're going around.
Okay.
Which doesn't necessarily mean anything because it could be hidden from the ability to spell.
Mm-hmm.
But you, Scuzz and Ariel, you both locate the vault room, which is the one room you're not allowed to go in, basically, because that's where the all the things that are
in there.
all the things that are going to be sold at auction and otherwise are being kept. But you do find the vault room, and that is certainly a place where it could be if it is here. You know where it is. It is heavily guarded. It's an interior room of the headquarters that there's only one way into it, and that way is through the central barracks of the private guards of the building. So it's like, you have to go through their office, their office and orientation point to get to the vault. But it's there. You know where it's at. You don't know what's in it, obviously. But aside from that, there's not much interest here. Mostly it's just paperwork and money.
Money's important. Money is.
Do they have any merchandise at this location, or
no? This is the headquarters. So this is mostly this is all where the paperwork happens.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah, the only merchandise here would be the stuff in the vault, and that would be specifically
Do they have
held for auction.
merchandise? Do they have a storefront in the city?
Yes.
Besides the headquarters?
Yes, they do have like a trading company, like a general store, and like a thing. But that's actually down in Genties.
Okay.
Do you want me to sneak into the vault?
no?
Ariel and Gambit. No.
It's like three fingers all pointing it at your face.
It's the gift of the cat, and they pictured the cat with the knife, and the cat's just like.
But you all finish your investigation and head out, awaiting news of your information, and you are back on the streets of Mercatus.
Gent's going to drift.
Oh, look at that Foley work. There's a car and everything.
Soon as we're out and a little bit away from the place, should take this as whatever significance you might think that it is. But Esme is not comfortable with this person.
Ismay is comfortable with everybody and wants to get
Exactly.
comfortable with everybody.
Fucking exactly.
That's okay.
I need to go find the divinity guide and see which deities are opposed to Aradnir.
This person is. It is.
Most of them.
Yeah, most of them really. Well, no, it
They're
most.
all kind of like
Aradnir is most of Aradnirs are. It's complicated.
Complicated.
It's
Yeah.
complicated.
Mhm. It's complicated.
But that like literally like in that particular section for Aradnir, it should have just been a screenshot of the Facebook status.
Right.
I'm just
It's
saying
complicated.
for the next revision, John, there's your idea. You're welcome.
For those that don't have access to the Divinity Guide, Aradnir is simultaneously loved by and hated by all the other gods save the Planeshaper, whose desires are unfathomable even to the goddess of desire. As her nature, she serves as the unbalancing factor amongst the deities of Gran Terra, mirroring the conflict within mortals created by their own desires.
Okay, so there isn't just he's probably an ASMR of an opposing deity, because that could be any ASMR ever.
Right.
He's also this person is also very good at. We won't see anything he doesn't want us to see.
Yeah.
And when I say anything, I mean anything.
I mean, he gave zero reaction to anything that could have been concerning in that particular conversation.
No.
He was concerned about my eating habits.
More worrying.
I think
than
that was intentional.
He allowed certain things to be seen.
Why would he
He's
lie?
that good. He can control. There's few people who are actually able to control themselves to that level.
I did have a thought, or the beginnings of a plan. If they have this object, assuming, I know this is not necessarily a great assumption, but they don't hold these auctions particularly regularly, and they are for particularly prized or high price items, that this item will be aired at the auction. If we can either get an invite or be there as guests, we may, instead of having to deal with the trading company directly, simply learn from the event who acquires the item.
And then deal directly with that person. Yes, potentially.
I mean,
there's a few more ifs in there than I'd like, but I really don't like our odds going up against them.
It's certainly the less risky of the options between that and trying to break into probably the most heavily guarded vault in the city.
And
this is conjecture, but I would
piss them off. They're one of the biggest employers of Griffin companies in the city, and could very easily and very simply blacklist us in ways that would be quite inconvenient for our long-term ability both to address these matters and to literally feed ourselves.
Quite true. If the information we've been given on the sort of merchandise that a soul stone has been accurate, however, anybody buying a soul stone is going to be doing it via proxy.
Probably.
Maybe, or
it's still,
or if they do not, they are the type of terrifying person that can publicly bid on a soul stone without it being an issue for them. I don't disagree with you at all, Carolina. Making the Argall Trading Company our enemy is going to be very poor for our prospects in this city going forward. You're absolutely right. But just as a thought of what we might be trading it in for, I mean, I would love to find that it's a minor noble house that decided they wanted one, but
anyone who has this and is able to retain possession of it is going to be dangerous, which is why I wasn't thinking about this until we had a full idea of the scope of the trading company's capacities as a merchant of black magic items or powerful magic items.
Well, dangerous or have dangerous levels of resources. There could be some ridiculously rich, random, merchant.
Who wants it because it ties the coffee room together?
Exactly, but even then, if they can afford it, then they have a dangerous amount of resources. So it's a different type of danger.
But I agree that probably going up against a private citizen or organization is going to have fewer long-term and public consequences than going up against a powerful and respected merchant guild.
Depends kind of on who they are, right?
Yes, you're not wrong.
Yeah, that's why this is not quite a plan, because one, we're assuming that we can determine.
It's definitely the beginnings of one.
And two, we're trading a known for an unknown.
And anyway, aren't we kind of like jumping the gun on if he may not even hire us? They're still interviewing other people.
They also may not have a soul stone.
That
too.
All entirely possible.
I did say that at the beginning of my caveats to this.
Sorry.
You did.
I did have a thought for the inevitability that we do not get hired after that stellar interview. I'm sorry, Lord Valdeth. It's no one's fault. Just he's creepy. Anyways, in the inevitable event we don't get hired, we could potentially finagle an invite as someone's in between, as someone's backup, as one of influence there to acquire the more trivial side of auctions, most high item auctions in books at least, because Carolina has never been to one of these things. Also have a whole bunch of expensive but not exorbitant and curiosity to serve as trinkets for the extremely wealthy and dick measuring for the less wealthy.
Well, I've got to go
sent you a
see
whisper, Jeremy, in case you hadn't seen it.
Oh, I had not seen it.
my mother today, probably. I have a cousin as well. So
you wanted the three of us to come along? Valda says, indicating herself, Gent, and Carolina.
Yeah, unless Gent, you wanted to, because we're going to be up. What layer are we in now? We're not in Genties.
No, you're in Mercatus,
right?
You're in Mercatus right now.
Mercatus, yeah. But we're going to be up in the layer where you can check on your cousin?
In day.
Niece. Niece/cousin. Yes.
Well, close to
You're
that.
older than your niece now.
Fuck you. Much though I would love the opportunity to make yet another stunning impression on your mother. Yes, I feel like I probably should. Unless you have time after the fact.
Both residences are in day. You could go to one then the other.
Yeah, I could do that. Or could go stop by there after or before. I shouldn't go down. It is a little muddy. But
how about this? Ariel, would you accompany me to check my niece's workshop? And
course.
then I'll meet you at wherever we're meeting your mother afterwards?
Yeah, I have to send her a letter anyway to make sure she's actually going to be there.
All right. Let me know where and when, and I'll be there in time.
Just really quick to circle back around. It is probably worth noting that my fence that I'd spoken to had made mention of an auction.
So it's probably there. That's
Probably there. I mean,
more than
If they're having an auction, they must have seeded what items will be there to someone.
To clarify, Ludo, sort of casually, sort of off the cuff, when you came, was like, "Oh, there's an auction happening in a couple days. You want to go?" Like
Right.
It was sort of separate from the Soulstone question, but
Was it? Oh,
yeah, it was separate from the Soulstone
But
question. But it's
it's an
probably this
alternate
auction.
in if we don't get the job potentially.
that's true.
And also the thing
Couple weeks ago, so fuck.
he had initially said, do you want to go to an auction? And then his letter to you that came later was interesting jewelry at the Argall Trading Company, and guess who's holding an auction soon? Like, these things link together.
Very possibly.
No, wrong. So yes, if we don't get hired, which I'm gonna be honest, I won't shed a tear over, then that is another way.
See, the problem is that kind of cold reception is the kind of thing where I almost expect to get hired for some reason we're not seeing.
There's a very simple reason. It starts with a P and ends with atsies.
Yes.
Or to
Tanya
keep
looks
an eye
real
on a
confused for a
suspicious
while.
this element with another suspicious element that they're already keeping an eye on, or any number of other conspiratorial.
There's a variety of ways that thing could still end up with us being hired, and I would almost be more suspicious of us actually being hired.
We came off so well.
Who knows? Like all of the other people that apply might just be in there picking their noses the whole time and not listening.
I mean, that is how the Griffin Company do.
I also love that we're role playing like 5 minutes of the anxiety directly after a job interview for a job you didn't even want.
We are Jesus Christ, we're 2020 in a nutshell.
It's like,
Also,
I didn't really want this morally dubious job for a person that I fundamentally do not trust, but I'm still nervous about whether or not they liked me and whether they're going to hire me.
For fuck's sake.
Millennials, am I right?
Yep.
Sorry, I know not everyone is in
Yep.
this position right now, but
Oh,
I am.
It's something I'm
I
familiar
mean,
with, though.
we've probably all been in that position before.
They were having a.
That's not the fun nostalgia, Aaron. Thank you.
They were having a climate
Sorry.
change. They were having a climate change argument at my job interview while I was in the other room filling out paperwork, and the person who was denying the climate change would be my boss.
dude,
Oh my.
yeah,
Oh my.
I have so many stories that I cannot tell on live Twitch that I should tell you guys at some point about the weird industries I've worked in.
Anyways, so
I tangented very.
Gant and
So,
Ariel.
Velda,
Oh, sorry, Ithram, go ahead.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah. Velda, also, I believe I mentioned this before, but I actually have no capabilities of detecting
Right,
magic
this is
other
the thing.
than
This is the thing that keeps coming up.
general.
Is you have weird gaps in your ability to cast spells.
Carolina's
I can
the
do
one that has
that.
detect
I
magic.
can detect magic. I
Yes.
assumed
Yes.
that we weren't mentioning that because
Oh.
the reason I can
That is
detect
why I
magic
kept
is
quiet.
I eat magic items, which is not a great thing to put on your resume when you're promising to protect magic items.
Catalina's ability to detect magic I was keeping under the table under wraps. But it's good that we still actually have that capacity.
Yes,
I could do that too.
Good.
I just have to think about the spell.
No,
You're a wizard. You can do every wizard thing, right?
Except for the ones that you ask for. I can do my wizard things.
I love this. Is the best wizard dynamic ever. It's just like wizards can do all these things, right? No.
Prestidigitation and detect magic. Well, I can open up a hole of anti-gravity beneath your feet and stick you on the ceiling.
Like, can you clean up your best friend after she throws up forever? No,
Nope, that's her problem.
Thanks, Ithram.
No.
Ithram respects your autonomy and expects you to be your own adult.
I had planned on if they had a scroll section in their merchandise or in their store, perhaps I had planned on filling some of my gaps for more variety, but we'll have to wait until I actually get to the store.
You're very singularly focused on fighting as a wizard.
We seem to come into dangerous situations and they help.
This is fair.
Ithram looks down at armor, looks down at flail.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
It's almost like you're a war wizard.
Yeah,
right.
Almost. Also,
Well,
the
so
great
weird,
axe that's
so weird.
stuffed in a pocket dimension.
So
I just want to say that every time that that Ithram says scroll, I get paranoid and start looking around.
Right.
Yeah.
Shape-shifted fuckers.
You swear
them anyway.
You swear that hip teenager on the corner was an old lady 2 seconds ago.
I did just read Secret Empire, like Secret Invasion,
Yep.
not too terribly long ago.
Not too terribly wrong.
Alter
ago.
self.
It's fine. You really only need to be worried about the super scrolls. Scrolls have a lot of strings on their powers.
So, Valdeth and Titania and Carolina are going to send a letter off to Titania's mom.
Yep.
Valdeth's mom is not in the city.
No. Actually, I did want to look for something for that, but that's.
Gent and Ariel are going up to check on Gent's niece's workshop. Skuz and Ithram, what are the two of you doing?
As my cousin asked me to do this thing for her, Skuz is going to, Ithram, if you want to join me in some science, you're more than welcome to. I gotta throw a bunch of things in the Presto Foodatron 3000, see how it works, and write down my findings for Lavisa. If you wanted to join in the science.
I actually would like to see how this functions and perhaps dispel anything should things go awry. But
if something goes awry, that's a bread.
So
hey!
Skuz and Ithram are going to be playing Will It Blend?
Yes.
I had a few things. I would actually like to stop by the Argall actual storefront afterwards, if you would want to join me there.
Where we are right now, because Skuz would rather do this like at home.
You'd have to go back to Genji's for both of those things, anyways. So.
Oh, okay, cool. Because we can go to the shop front first. I should probably buy things that we don't mind getting thrown into the Presto Foodatron 3000.
I like that you make the Vanna White hands every time you say the title of the thing.
Oh, of course. it's required.
I have an idea. If they have this scroll, perhaps there is a way that we can do this so that there is minimal risk should it explode.
So
that would be great.
We're gonna start with Gent and Ariel. I'm assuming you're getting your air cabbing up to day.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you air cab up
Yep.
today. You've got a few minutes in the very loud air cab if you want to have a conversation there.
Okay, how do air cabs work? Like, would Ariel and Gent need to take their own and head
No,
his direction while the
there
others
are-
take a different one, or would we all be in the same one?
If you're going different places, you'd get your own.
Well, we're
Okay.
going up to the same layer, aren't we?
Oh, if you all are going up today, then all of you are going up today. Then yeah, you can all
yeah.
take one.
That's I think how that works, right?
Yeah.
Because we're all heading up to there.
Basically, Gent's going to wait for his conversation until it's just him and Ariel.
Okay.
Is what I'm getting at.
So you all fly up today. It's gonna actually take a while before it's just you and Ariel because you actually have to walk past from the landing strip. You have to walk past the Minar estate to get to Titania's family's estate. So it'll be the whole group of you at this point then. So Valdez, Titania, get Carolina, and Ariel. You land up in day and you're heading down. And all of you notice as you head towards the river where your niece's workshop, where Darren's workshop was, that there are no guards at the gate to the Minar estate.
Oh.
And the gate is slightly ajar.
Is that normal?
That doesn't. Look
That's
good.
absolute. Never mind.
Oh.
That can't be normal.
That
Gun
looks bad.
comes out.
Well,
I'm looking to Valdez and Titania. Perhaps we should slightly postpone the visit to your mother?
I think we need to check. I think we need to check this out.
She might know what happened too. I mean,
Yeah, we'll.
Gent has already gone stealth and is just sneaking his way up to the gate. As
Ariel's
best he can.
going with.
Give me stealth checks.
We'll talk to her after we check this out. This she might be able to help us with
Okay.
this.
Sad.
I'm gonna cast then
Oh, whoops! Not at advantage. My bad. 21.
for our group sneaking in, because they've already headed off.
Yeah, we're already boom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, he didn't
we're-
even think to wait for.
Pass without trace.
Okay,
That's
so you
fine.
got-
I'll take that because I'm wearing full plate.
So-
Fair.
So
got that.
Titania, Valdez, and Carolina get a +10 to their stealth rolls.
Yep.
And you're wearing dwarven full plate too, Valdez. It's not quiet.
22 though. Thank you, Pass Without Trace.
It's the sound
20.
of...
Thank you. That's a 16.
All right. So the group of you quickly and quietly head up to the gate. Again, as you get there, the gate is slightly ajar, and the long path up to the manor is completely clear of any people. Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Do you want me to air?
I'm using inspiration. 24, natural 20.
Anyone else that's there can make this too. That wants to.
Okay.
Do you want me to aerial scout?
I'm assuming Ariel is asking.
What does that mean again?
That means
In
I
the
go
sky.
aerial.
Oh, Ariel. Sorry, you mean elevator.
Wings.
Sorry, I was thinking your name. I was like,
That's
what is the type of scouting you
that
can
for
do
the
that I
record-
can't do?
That, for the record, is why I pronounce the name Ariel versus
makes sense.
Ariel.
That makes sense. Not yet.
Right.
So everyone but Valdeth notices along the road, along the path, the cobblestone path from the gate to the manor, there are tall hedges, and they're hedge mazes that sort of spread out from on the left and right hand side, with entrances much closer to the actual thing. And there are various assortment of like garden, like lawn furniture within the hedge mazes, and they eventually end at the garden out back. Everyone but Valdeth notices that one section of the hedge maze, which is green, has dyed red along the bottom.
I'm heading that way.
So you
And red, like, not like slightly brown like dried blood, but actual red.
Red, like red, proper red,
Okay.
like scarlet.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
Yeah.
fresh
Gent
blood.
will, Gent will be going with Ariel. Yep. Ariel.
What might do that? I know plants.
Make an nature
Sort
check.
of.
Paint.
Make a nature check.
They're painting the hedges red.
Yeah.
Druidcraft.
Druidcraft won't help with this.
The Queen of Hearts
Oh,
didn't
you
like
mean the
these white
Queen of
roses,
Got
and
Make 21. Okay.
21.
nice.
Paint. Yeah, you could certainly paint them.
Is it paint though? Or is it
There-
dyed or something else?
You could paint it. You could paint. You could dye. There's a variety of ways that you
something in
could.
the
There are a variety
soil
of things that could. Most likely, it's something in the soil that
Okay.
that is causing that's causing the color to change.
That's
As you
weird.
all get over there, you sort of bend down, and
It's
it's
not
and
red
you can
here.
tell as you get closer, you can tell it's not something covering the leaves. The leaves have just turned red.
I'll pluck one of those and
And it's just
as we
this
follow.
brilliant red piece of hedge.
First things first, we need to find people.
Aye.
If they're in distress, we need to find them now before we can investigate the outward side.
I'd like to turn on my detect magic. At this point, I still have a use of it.
There's magic in that there hedge.
Golden Emnair Hills.
Do I get a sense of a certain school or any other details, or not right now?
You get it. It's not a particular school. This feels like an after effect of something that happened, and it fundamentally changed the nature of the hedge.
Right.
So it's not like
This
if you had to give it a school, it would be like transmutation, but you feel like it's more of a side effect than an intentional thing.
This is red to do of something, probably a ritual of some sort.
All right.
But there's quite a bit of magic there. As
Can I make an Arcana check on that to see if that
Sure.
pings anything in?
Yeah. I will also.
My God.
you know
No
what?
idea.
I'm good at Arcana.
Also, no idea.
Oh,
Some sort of ritual to turn hedges red, I guess.
14.
Mhm.
Well, I can see it, so I have a slightly better chance.
I do want to point out. I know I roll a lot of ones, but with Ariel specifically, they always seem to be for Arcana checks.
Mm-hmm.
Like every single time.
Carolina, you don't think it was a ritual? You think this was like
Okay.
this is magical, like splashback from something?
Actually, ritual wouldn't be the right term. More of a backlash or splashback. The result of a process, not the location of a process. But probably not the primary result either.
I like the idea that as we're doing this, Carolina is actively eating a snack out of her bag.
I mean, probably.
Right, yeah, because I mean, that's so in character for her, too.
It's something stealthy, though. I'm not
Right,
making
yeah.
noise with it. But
Right.
yes, Carolina
It's a
is
soft
probably
food.
like snacking, eyes like bleeding magical residue of various colors. I know she just looks around and comments on the nature of the magic here.
All right, well,
Um,
let's have a look inside if we can.
How we
yeah. Does it seem to be getting worse or like higher any direction? Okay. I'll just follow where Gent's going then.
Jeremy,
All right.
Nope.
Okay.
Gent, you head up to the front door. It's
Mhm.
slightly ajar.
Don't like this at all. Poke his head inside, see what he can see.
You see an empty foyer. None of the guards, no people, no servants.
He's going to do a good hard listen at this point then, see if he can pick out any direction that might be worth going to.
Give me a perception check.
God, I can't roll shit today. 7.
Not hearing anything.
He's just standing there trying to listen. Yep.
And the rest of you follow in, and again, it's this
Um,
perfectly still, empty, quiet, clean
I
foyer.
I will also roll that.
I'll see
Where
after
from here would the room which the fire and the lady were in be?
That'd be upstairs.
Okay.
Ariel and Valdeth, or Ariel and Valdeth, the two of you hear coming from a door straight down the hallway. This foyer has like stairs that go up, and then there's a doors off to the side, and then there's a long hallway that the runner that connects from the front door straight back goes, and then there's a large door at the end of it.
Was there a clock in that direction before?
You've never been in that room, so you don't know. This is a different room.
Kent, is there a clock? Is there a clock that's supposed to be ahead?
Yes, Gant, there's a grandfather clock in the lounge.
Right. There's a tall clock, grandfather clock in the lounge down that way.
All right.
Do you know if your family has a secret magic basement full of arcane demons?
Yes. Were you not there when I was telling?
I was there. I am aware that is a thing that is there. I was trying to be delicate while asking you where that is.
That would be in my uncle's former study.
Which you can get to on the other side of the lounge.
Right, which is past the lounge.
Okay.
So you head down the hallway. The lounge door is closed.
Yep.
I reach out.
Open it.
Open it.
As you open
Push
it,
open, and immediately I've got.
it only opens a little bit, like there's something on the other side of it. But as soon as you shove into that, immediately the smell of death and blood just erupts from that room.
Everybody, stay back, please.
You're a ranged fighter. Maybe I should go in?
That's dead things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going into this as a ranged fighter. I'm going into this as an investigator. If something is still in there, ready to kill, it must be very bored at this point. Because that smell doesn't start until some time after.
She's right.
Not to be alarmist, but I've been trying to keep track of the red flags. I've sort of run out of fingers.
Yes, absolutely. And I will carefully slide my way into the room, disturbing as little as possible as I do.
Yeah, I'm going to send Garnet in with Ariel and close my eyes and vision through her.
So the first thing you notice, Ariel, is that there is the corpse of a guard leaning against the door that looks like it's been sort of sliced from the neck down to the waist and peeled open so that the internal organs are open to view.
Right.
There are several bodies scattered throughout this room in various states of dismemberment, none the same. And in the middle of the room, facing the door, is an older man that looks an older elf that looks kind of like Gent, but in a few hundred years. Completely slack on the chair, leaning back, with a piece of paper stabbed into its forehead with a knife.
Do I recognize him?
I don't think you're inside.
I said Garnet.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah, I have a familiar.
From what you can tell, it looks like Gent's dad. Just
the door
grandfather
shuts.
Because we don't know.
Sorry,
who my dad
grandfather. Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Got it. I was like,
wrong.
What?
wrong term. Grandfather.
Generation.
Okay. Plot twist. Gent's dad is somehow an elf.
Grandfather.
The door shuts.
I'm a half elf. The other half is also elf.
Genetics.
And CSI Gran Terra begins.
Go ahead and give me an investigation.
Yeah.
You have to make a pun. That's the rule. No, I'm just kidding.
I
don't
would
know,
like
the CSI
Garnet to do
theme
this
song,
as
I'm
well.
sorry.
Here's
'cause-
the funny thing: is as much of my investigation's +0.
I
I
think
actually have a
Ithram's-
better investigation than you somehow.
Look, I had a lot of things that I needed to put proficiencies in, and something had to lose out.
Can Carbuncle make this as well?
You can, because you're
As-
looking through Carbuncle's eyes.
Ah, damn it! Carbuncle can't do it because it's smarter than me.
Garnet is smarter than.
Yeah, you can
God,
opt.
yeah, that's
You can opt to let Garnet do the investigation
Yeah.
herself. If
Yeah,
you
You know
want.
what?
Sweet.
I'm gonna use my inspiration on that.
17.
Okay,
Oh.
11 it is.
So
The kid just puts on a hat, pulls out a magnifying glass.
Carbuncle, Titania, you're looking through Carbuncle's eyes. Ariel,
Yeah.
you're sort of looking around trying to. There's just so much.
Yeah.
There is so much gore in this room. It's hard to tell where to start. Is sort of the problem you're having right now. Carbuncle's ears, or Garnet's.
I'm mostly just trying to commit it all.
Yeah, Garnet's ears just sort of twitch.
Wait.
And sort of prances across the air to the grandfather clock. Because it's not ticking right. The reason why you guys were hearing it was because it's hitting something. And Garnet sort of looks through the glass, and there is shoved into the grandfather clock is what looks like a fairly young, red-haired female elf that you recognize as Darren.
Is Titania emoting out here with her eyes closed?
She's gonna try not to.
Give me a
Fair
Give
enough.
me a wisdom saving throw. We'll use that as your willpower.
All right. Save. I get +7 on those. 22.
You manage to maintain while you're focusing through Garnet's vision. Garnet sort of flashes the garnet crystal, Ariel, and draws your attention.
Yep.
You get over
Alright.
there and you see the same thing.
Right. Along the way, is it possible to get over there without disturbing too much and pass by the note?
Yeah, there's
At the same
there's
time?
there's enough
Okay.
non-bloodied floor that you can maneuver.
There's enough
around.
room to maneuver.
Yeah.
Okay.
The note
I put up a hand like,
you can tell that the note is
give
folded
me a second,
in,
and I look down to read the note.
the note is folded in half. You'd have
Okay.
to remove the knife to get the note.
Yes, I will then.
You can see that it's addressed to Ghent.
Mm-hmm.
It,
I'm reading it anyways.
it says, "My dear nephew Ghent, I noted with some amount of pride that you managed to secure my dear sister from the unfortunate circumstances that our father happened to have put her in. And so I felt such daring heroics worthy a reward. And so, here, my gift to you. All the things you hate dealt with. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Your loving uncle, Alfinbar Minar."
I'll really quick I look over to sort of examine the situation with the clock. If there's anything I actually, through investigation, I would like to see if there is a cult ritual style element to any of this. Is it random violence, Or is there something worse
give me a
going
religion
on?
check. Yeah.
Guess what I
And
also have
I-
a +0 in.
Want to know
Mhm.
if how long ago this was based on decomposition.
Give me a medicine check.
Okay. And I'm doing that in mine because that's a Titania thing.
So with a natural
22.
one, Ariel, there's definitely some sort of ritual at work here. You just have no fucking clue what it is. Titania,
Yay.
interestingly, Adairn's been dead a lot longer than the rest.
Oh.
It seems like Adairn died a few months ago. Her body's in remarkably well.
Well, that'll be.
Her
that'll
body
be
is
pretty obvious.
her body is remarkably well preserved, but even with that, she's been dead for several months. The rest of the people in this room dead for a couple weeks.
A few months being. Would that make me? Would that be before she came and visited again?
No, that would be after
For
because
timeline. Okay.
you guys were
It'd be
gone
after.
for 3 months.
Wanted to confirm.
Yeah.
Because undead are a thing.
It's true. No, you guys were out of town for 3 months, and somewhere within that time frame
Yep.
would be where she had died.
So, I mean, remarkably well preserved is a thing, and this is probably a thing that Titania would know, that certain spells that preserve a corpse also preserve the length of time that corpse can be resurrected. Would that seem to be applied?
Yeah, can she be resurrected?
You're pretty certain that she can't be resurrected. It looks like she was already risen from the dead, and something cut that control and rendered her a corpse again
That's specific.
before she
Okay.
was shoved into the grave. Before she was shoved into the grandfather clock.
Okay.
She's also not disemboweled like the rest of the people in the room.
Right. I look over at Garnet. I'm coming out. I don't think anybody else needs to be in this.
Titania will open her eyes and look over at Gran.
Garnet sits on your shoulder area.
Insight check.
I make an insight check.
I slip my way out of the room and
That's
shut
fair.
it behind me.
What did we find?
Fuck all.
In a second, but
Fine.
she's
I might do terrible, and you could figure out something for me. I didn't,
Nope.
but
Hang on. Valdeth is concerned, so she also needs to make this. Nope.
You
Worse.
guys are
everything's
real good at it.
fine.
10, 10,
Nobody's-
9.
Everything's fine. There's nobody here. They're just on a picnic. Let's all go. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, that I
That
feel
would've
like
required-
overrides the deception.
That would have required a disadvantage.
No, the smell of rotting flesh was nothing.
please don't go in there.
There's
You
no
don't
reason.
have to go in there, but you need to tell us what it is.
Yes, there was, and I
Straight for the door.
I'm in front of the door. Good fucking luck.
I'm gonna try and block as well.
Are you trying to force your way past Titania and
Oh,
Ariel?
yeah.
Give me an athletics check. Opposed by an athletics check from the two of you.
I am assisting Gent.
Okay, so get it with advantage.
Okay.
Hmm.
Only 13.
I'm gonna use another inspiration on that one,
Go ahead.
just because. Nope.
Athletics from Ariel as well.
It's up.
Or
It's
Ariel
up to
as well.
Ariel.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you?
This is appropriate.
Don't mess with the barbarian and the one fueled by rage.
Yeah, fair.
Do you have any inspiration?
I
you'd like to
don't care about that part of it.
Right.
I don't know. Hold on. Let me check.
Do I have time to get anything else off, or is this like a
Yes,
one
yes,
round
I did
thing?
have one more.
Go ahead and roll it.
All right, go for
Hold
it.
on, hold on.
This is sort of all happening at the same time, Titania. So.
That's fair.
There
There
we
we go.
So yeah, you and Carolina both sort of push forward, and
So-
Titania gets between you and Ariel, and you sort
And
of like
Ariel's athletics choice is to grow wings.
you sort of shove Titania off to
Just-
one side, and as you
Yes.
do, wings erupt, and the sort of divine might of Ariel just puts a hand on your face and shoves back, and you sort of stumble backwards into Carolina.
She's
I
dead. It's
catch him because most of what I'm doing is trying to keep everyone out of the way.
she's dead.
I
It's
thought
not
we
good.
had this conversation already.
I will happily tell you you don't need to go in.
A moment. Everyone. Titania, what?
She's dead. It's not.
Then we
Good.
need the body.
Yep.
Absolutely. I will
I don't know.
be more than happy to retrieve it.
Is she
Don't need
the
to
only
go
one
in.
dead in there?
No.
No.
There are several gods, and there
Is there any evidence? Is there any indication, Ariel?
I was in the process. I hand you the note.
Thank you.
There is also an older gentleman who
It's his grandfather.
Dead.
Reading the note over Gent's
Obviously.
shoulder.
Dead.
yes.
Yeah, he's not trying to hide the note or anything.
Yeah.
Aleth reads it too, sort of.
We can practice a bit of order of operations if we need to, but I need to file a report about this. A family of nobles is dead.
Of course. That absolutely needs to happen, and I understand that.
Valeth's fists just kind of clench and unclench.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like supportively
That is-
be behind Gent right now.
Gent's going
Carolina,
to-
dear,
Hmm.
that is a large part of why I am trying to keep people out of this room. There will need to be an actual investigation beyond what we have done, and we don't want tramping all over the scene.
No, that's fair.
I would like to insight check again. Just to see what's.
Gent, Gent passes the note to Carolina. I'm sure this
Yeah.
will need to be filed under evidence.
Yeah. I
And Gent, you can hear.
I still have magic vision up.
you
Is
can
the note
hear the
magic?
tone in that letter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gent,
Mm-hmm.
Gent, darling, is there anybody in that room that we've told you about that you don't want being in there when people come to investigate?
Gent has his coin purse out right now and seems to be counting. Probably not.
There's an-
If they'll need, for whatever purposes, they'll need an accurate accounting of the fatalities in order to establish who is still viable as lineage and heir to the Minar lands and titles. So we'd best not disturb it more than is required.
There's another bit of evidence. Adairn has been dead for a little while,
Yes.
a couple months
All right.
after we left. There was nothing we could do. We were not on in the city. The guards were all more. Everyone else was more. A couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. Did you get a chance to investigate Aaron's body, specifically see if anything else is hidden or contained on her person?
Mm-mm.
Honestly, Garnet looked more at that, so I'm deferring.
I didn't see anything else, but I didn't want to move her.
All right. I'll leave that up to the guard, I suppose.
Carolina, if you could notify people that need to be notified.
Yeah. I am assuming there is a proper way to report
Oh yeah. Yeah.
urgent.
A spree killing.
Given that I am essentially like shadow police spy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You would notify the Geist for this district, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. And they would organize things, and you know who to send the letter to. So basically, you step outside, send the letter, and mail it.
I'd say you should all probably leave this house before I go and do that, because while we will absolutely have questions for all of you, being in here is probably not the greatest thing.
We all have alibis. We have multiple people. We have a whole couple other Griffin companies that say we are out.
Yes.
Of town.
I'm not concerned that they're going to pin you for the murder. I'm concerned that remaining inside of the crime scene is generally not what we want people doing after they find a murder.
Absolutely. I will wait outside, but I will remain here because I was the person who actually entered the room.
Yes, that's probably fine. Let's just get away from this room in particular.
Of course.
The front of the estate, not in the magical
looks over
circle.
Again, how large is your family?
Mother was the eldest of her siblings, and my uncle. Not massive, at least not on the nobility side of things. The Minar name goes a fair way across Taram, but...
Would the bodies in there be the entirety, or are there more?
Your cousins, right?
It's unlikely that
John.
that's everyone.
You didn't get a look in it, so you're not certain, and no one else really know how many, but it would be possible for the entirety of the rest of your family to be dead now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially considering that note.
Yeah. Yeah, Valna's question was, would all of the bodies of your family be in that room, or are there more rooms full of bodies in this building?
There are potentially more
Gent's
rooms.
going to assume that there are probably more rooms.
Yeah.
But again, Gent hasn't stepped in the room, so he can't confirm whether or not that would be.
Right. If there are... I mean... There are probably other corpses throughout the estate. I would not be surprised. It's a large enough room to hold them all, but unless he wanted to stage everything for maximum impact and not string the trauma along, which doesn't really seem his speed, I wouldn't be surprised if there weren't more bodies about.
More likely. Let's go.
Ready?
Honestly, I'm half tempted to just toss this place and steal everything that I can, but no, let's leave.
Okay, so theft is still a crime, even if your entire family has been murdered.
I know. I'm talking about impulse, not rationale at this point.
It's a strange god.
It's a strange
Isn't he, though?
So
Get everybody outside.
You all step out.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Gent, you swear you just saw someone with very long white hair step into the hedge maze. Which Alfinbar did. He had very long,
Right, yeah.
white, almost, like blonde, almost white, basically, hair.
Yeah, kind of like Gwynferon did. Gent's gonna make a wisdom save. Whoop, not an advantage. That's an 8. Gent's running into the hedge maze.
You also get run into the hedge maze.
I'm-
This is following.
I'm flying over the head.
Okay.
To keep an eye on
dangerous
Gent
mages.
for like probably another 20 seconds that I have left.
Oh yeah.
But still,
I'm gonna go report a crime. See ya.
you do that. We will stop the victim's family member from screwing up the crime scene.
If he needs to go somewhere else, Titania's family's house is probably not actually a bad option.
One step ahead of you.
Make
Lovely.
make an intelligence saving throw again.
Yeah.
Okay. 16.
And Valdeth, since you ran in after. Titania, are you running in after as well?
12.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn into a panther, and then I'm real fast.
Okay.
So I'm gonna catch up.
Make an intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence save. Oh boy.
I don't know if like the innate sense of direction that people who live underground helps at all.
You don't. You
7.
have stone sense. You don't have hedge sense.
No, but I like if you have no like sky to navigate with, you typically have a very solid sense of innate direction.
It's true. It's true. It doesn't help here. Gent, you find yourself stumbling out into a one of the one of the fountain parks of in the middle of the thing. There's nobody here but you. Titania, you find yourself in a dead end, and you don't know how you got here. Valdeth, you seem to have stumbled out the other end and are in the gardens. Gent.
What do I see?
Ariel, you saw all three of them take off into the thing and just take wrong turn after wrong turn. And fucking end up
For fuck's sake.
completely losing each other. There was no magic involved. It's just a really complicated maze.
It's a complicated maze.
I'm going to see where one of them is and just land there with the last of my... Probably Gent.
Okay, so you land in next to the fountain where Gent is. There's nobody here, Gent.
Okay.
Right. I mean, comparatively. I mean, obviously, but...
Did you really tell Titania she never made a good decision in her life?
Not those words, it's a long story. I did say I don't think that she had made a good decision since a certain point, yes.
Do you really think that was helpful?
Sake. Look. I think that Titania has far, far too much potential and talent to she's capable of much. And somebody has to be the hot ass. You're not going to do it. Valdeth isn't going to do it. You're going to offer the positive support. Somebody has to take her to task without consideration of, is she going to like me after? Because occasionally, and by occasionally I mean fairly often, she makes poor decisions. I like her a lot, but she needs to know when she's fucked up and not be told it's okay by somebody. I don't like that I have to do it, but somebody must.
That's a perspective that I've heard fairly often. Someone has to be the one to give the hard knocks. I don't think that's true. People learn other ways.
Have the other ways worked yet?
Yes, they have.
Matter of different perspectives, then.
There have been times that we've disagreed. There will be more times that we disagree. I'm fine with that. I never lost respect for you before then, though. That was the only time.
In the back of your head, Gent, you hear Alfinbar's voice. And what do we do with that which we don't respect?
Again, kind of sucks his teeth and twitches his head to the side.
I would say that that's unfortunate.
But
and that I don't like that. I don't like that that's the case. What I said, I did say in a moment of extreme frustration. I wouldn't have phrased it that way in most situations. I do regret the specific wording of that.
I understand that that seems like, from what I've heard, it was in the wake of everything with the cycling time and whatnot, but
Actually, I believe it was just before or just after the delve into the cavern.
oh,
I don't remember whether
It was
before.
it was before. It was like the mid. It was in the journey.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Titania was trying
Mhm.
to like get closure for that event.
Mhm.
And it was just before
Yeah.
everything fell into a pit.
Yeah.
Mid gambling. It was mid gambling.
Yeah.
I was extremely frustrated.
we need to be better people.
Absolutely. I don't deny that. I will be happy to clarify that phrasing was inaccurate.
You're a grown woman. You can resolve your own conflicts. You don't need me for that.
And I would have if I'd realized that there's no way for me to say this without it sounding insulting, so forgive me. But I would have resolved it if I thought that it had even registered for a moment. Because the
For what it's
reaction, at
worth,
least my recollection
did.
of it, was that it did not. Very well. I will do something to resolve. That said, why did we run into a hedge?
Thought I saw my uncle.
You can sort of hear
Valdeth! Titania, are you still both conscious and capable at the moment?
As I ever was.
Because I'm a panther, but I'm sniffing out. I've resorted to sniffing out and like
You
just
hear-
dashing through the hedge at this point.
you
could growl.
You can both hear a panther moving through the hedge. It's not very quiet.
Is your
Um,
is your uncle a panther?
No,
Again, you do hear
not generally.
in the back of your mind just the most sinister of laughters.
You should all go to Titania's. It's somewhere where you have each other, and where if anything you're nearby, and if anything goes in a way that we don't want it to go in terms of the investigation, they can't just come in and say you have to come with. I will stay
Yes.
here.
All right.
And on that note, so we're going to take our break. If you're watching on Twitch, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. We'll be back in a bit. And we're back.
Away! Its family is dead.
And
That's
mute
it. That's all I
the
had.
players. Okay.
Summary.
Um,
Tactfully supplied by Nikki.
so, the group of you, aside Ariel aside and Carolina aside, head for Titania's home. Meanwhile, Skaz and Ithram.
Let's go blow up a toaster.
We're not blowing up a toaster. We're blowing up various foods. This is like a food cannon, but opposite.
First, you're going
We put
to
food in, and hopefully it'll be different food. Like Ithram's asking Scuzz, it's like, well, what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to put like raw ingredients inside, and then like the food will be ready on the other side. Is the hope and the dream. Also, it doesn't like shoot it out at people, though. I will add that to my notes to see if she could do that next time.
I would like a food gun, please.
I would like a food cannon for both, field purposes, but also because I think it'd be fun to see how much food I can get in my mouth. And just imagining the like videos of Scuzz, like the dog, where you're throwing food at him, just like.
I feel at one point Scuzz would want us to fire a whole chicken.
Just to see if he could catch it in his mouth and then eat it without having to remove it.
Like
no hands.
Take bites, yeah.
But first, you're going to the store.
Yes. We're going to the store first.
Looking for scrolls.
Looking for scrolls and for scraps.
So a pair of mostly featureless mannequins wobble past you. No.
That was exactly what my brain was.
But no. You head to the Argall Trading Company store, like down in the Genties, and it's a general store. Like it is, it's a general store. It has basically any adventuring gear you might want. They have it on shelves, very well ordered. They have a lot of it, a lot of stuff, and they also have a catalog. That is basically like you go up to the counter and there is this large bound book that you can flip through, and it has lists of things you can order. It has lists of things you can order, and the price is listed. The catalog has a lot more different things, as well as as you're talking to the people at the counter, they basically indicate that it's sort of a rotating stock of rarer items than the adventuring gear, and they send this out to people on a mailing list basically every month, and it has new things in it every month.
Have you ever thought of possibly doing this without the use of paper? Have you ever thought about going paperless?
We have experimented with a few different tombstone varieties, but the problem is that we send these to cities all across the globe, and tombstones are not nearly as ubiquitous as soon as you leave after you leave Tehran.
You should get a guy on that.
We've been working on it.
Like the dark
Scott's gonna then wander away.
Just gonna say you should work on that and then walk away.
Because in another world that Nikki
my
made a game for, like, that Scuzz can definitely like get glimpses of. There definitely was like a catalog, but it was like, like a very much like an online thing where you just like pull it up, holographics, and you could just like select things, and then they would just ship to you the next day magically through magic, because magic exists. Scuzz like, not enough magic in this world.
That's so
There
funny,
isn't.
But I work in retail, and I had a customer do that. Be like, you guys should manage your inventory different.
Oh,
Thank
I
you.
mean, like.
Oh, please give me more pointers.
Yeah, tell me more about it. Do my job. Here, you want my name tag? You want to put on my sweaty shirt? Let's go. Let's trade up.
There is in
Insert Willy
fact
Wonka meme.
there is in fact not enough magic in this world, and I wonder whose fault that is. Anyway,
Mine, it's totally Scuzz's. Scuzz flips the off magic
it's
switch.
not Scuzz's fault.
It could be.
No,
It
we
can
know
be
whose
Scuzz's
fault it
it's
is.
fine. Lump him in with these disaster children. God damn it. He's here now.
Scuzz wasn't around 10,000 years, or 10,000 years ago when it happened.
Yeah, he was. One of him was.
One of him was, yes. It wasn't.
There's
it wasn't-
always a scuzz.
There's always a scuzz.
I'm imagining there's like one of the skulls in the gelatinous cube with those small
Yeah.
skulls.
Yeah, one of the
Totally.
skulls
I'm
in
good
now.
the gelatinous cube that you summoned in the church.
I'm done
was
now.
definitely a scuzz.
There was at one point a world where Scuzz got cloned like 100 times, but the clones were never right, so it was just like random goblins, but they were all named Scuzz. That was a whole thing.
Anyways.
He doesn't remember any of those Scuzzes because they weren't him. They were just clones. They were. Anyway.
But yeah, so there is
One time I was cloned and just walking around the aisles.
there is a catalog you can flip through if you so desire.
Okay.
But nothing on like on
he
the
will
shelves, it's all
definitely-
just adventuring gear.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna flip to the scroll section and see if he can order if he can order a scroll. And if he can, he's looking for detect magic. I had another one. Where did it go? Oh, Lehman's tiny hut. And
So that's a first level spell, a third level spell.
yes, and where did it go? I had one more. Just those for right now.
Go ahead and roll me. Roll me just a flat d20.
Flat d20. 3.
So they do have the detect magic scroll. They do not have a Lehman's tiny hut though, and you can order it for
I
30
will-
gold.
Done.
Yeah. And the person explains to you
Gold.
that you can purchase it. You can purchase it. Actually, no, hang on. No, sorry. That's not the right price. That's for making one. Hang on.
I was like, God damn!
That's
I need to go to this place more often.
That's for making one. Sorry, 100 gold.
100. Done.
Yeah. You can order for 100 gold. And they say you can either place orders here at you can place orders at any Argall trading store location like this one, or if you're wanting to order from home, you can simply there's an address in the catalog that you can send the stuff to.
And they mail out the catalog.
If you subscribe.
Yeah, Ithram subscribes.
Okay.
Hit the like button and subscribe.
Yeah.
Ring that bell.
Wait. Are you telling me that Ithram just got a fantasy Costco membership?
He did. He definitely did.
Oh, shit.
No,
I
if
was
I'm just
fuck
got
yeah.
a fantasy Sears Roebuck membership.
I was
Hold
gonna
on,
say
hold
this is kind of like
God.
the fantasy version of Amazon Prime, really.
Yeah.
Here's
But
your
yeah.
membership card, and here's your buyer rewards card. Fill in all these punches and get a 25% discount on the end month sale. Just like, sorry. Oof.
And with your subscription,
I've been in
they
quarantine
actually-
too long.
They actually hand you a copy of this month's catalog, which is the one that you were just looking at. So
Oh, nice. He'll peruse that and go meet Scuzz, or go just peruse with Scuzz while Scuzz wanders around.
He's found a basket and he's filling it with if there's
Lotion?
food, he is filling it with lotion and also tack and also rations and ball bearings. He's just trying to see, like, I know she said that you're supposed to only put food in here, but what's the point of testing something if you don't test it to its full extent? I want to see what happens after we've done all the food experimenting. What happens when you put non-food items in there with food items? She'll appreciate it.
I will
it's
defer to your judgment regarding is it practices.
Thank you.
adventuring gear is all book price, so you can buy it for all You can buy all the things that you
Do
want.
they
for the
have
price.
enchanted armors or weapons as well in the catalog?
In the catalog? Roll me a d20.
All right.
Roll me the D20.
6.
That's double.
They
what you
have
rolled last
some.
time.
Yeah.
They have some cloaks, but no armors.
Okay.
You can order a cloak of
Do they
protection
per
if you
chance have a...
Ooh,
How much is that?
I would like that.
want. Let me take a look real quick.
I didn't mean to mute myself. That stacks, right? A cloak of protection would stack with my tattoo, right?
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Protection. It would be 600 gold.
Yeah. I'll order one of those as well.
Oh man, I tipped too much at the place with all the nice people.
Where?
I left too much money. I only have 300 gold pieces.
Oh. Did you want one?
Yeah.
I ordered 2.
You can order 2.
So this is like all big and watery eyed, like big old GB tears, just like
You have helped me transcribe scroll, pay for transcribing scrolls before, and we're friends. So this is nothing.
lays on the Walmart floor and cries like we're friends.
The person indicates that typically deliveries are next day, except on weekends.
It's not a weekend, is it?
No, it's like a Thursday.
Okay.
Is it a holiday?
No.
All right, we will return tomorrow then.
Oh, I thought they meant like deliver it like to our house.
If you have a subscription, it'll deliver it to the address of the subscription.
Oh, all right then.
Man, they're so
Wonderful.
speedy. Love it.
Cities have many perks.
Oh,
that
yeah,
we
no,
don't
sorry.
get
Scuzz was about to go up to the counter, but I remember you just saying that it's adventuring gear.
Yeah, it's adventure gear.
Prices. So I'll take off. He is buying like 1,000 ball bearings. He doesn't need all of it. Some of the ball bearings, and then rations, and then.
I mean, it only takes like 500 ball bearings to make a pie, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I don't know what that means.
It takes 3 and a very small bit of 1 to make a pie.
I forgot. How long was it going to take for that gem to be cut into a figurine
That
I ordered yesterday?
should be ready tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I think
Or
just
you
gonna,
know,
it's that moment when
two
you
phrase.
drunk order a lot of things off of Amazon, and then like 3 days later you just get like 5 packages, and you're just like,
Yeah.
this is the best. This is amazing.
Hooray! Wait, my
Hooray.
bank account.
Like your bank account, like, oh shit.
Sorry, what was that, Jeremy?
I said it takes X number of ball bearings or 2 phrase to make a pie. Game
Okay.
of Thrones reference.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
To fray. Okay. I don't know what.
2 phrase.
For some reason when I heard you say 2 phrase, I thought you said like 2 like phrases, like the like.
No.
But I get you now.
Fair.
They're-
I mean, it might
they're
be
here,
more.
sir.
It depends on the one that they use. Like, I imagine if Walter had been in there, it might have been 2.5 they needed.
They need.
'Cause
They
he's
need.
kind of small.
Yeah.
As you say, he's kind of
was more-
scrawny. Yeah.
He was more of a garnish, if anything,
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
for that pie.
So, Scuzz and Ithram
Yeah.
Yep.
return back to the company house,
Mm-hmm.
where
Mhm.
before them sits the cylindrical form of the Foodatron 3000.
We got the cylindrical
Uh-oh.
form of the Foodatron 3000, and then we got the cloak of Good Time Sneaky. We're gonna have a
We
great time.
have everything we could ever
We have
want.
everything we ever need. We got food and refreshments, ball bearings.
We are set for life.
So, what are you putting in the Foodatron?
Also, do we want to do this outside or in the
Oh,
house?
we're definitely
I'm assuming
doing this
outside.
outside. No.
Yes.
Either we're doing this outside or in the.
I didn't want to have to tell you that we have to do this outside, but it's good that you knew.
It's either we did it outside or we did it in the workshop. But I think
I haven't been
Gint
shot.
and
I
Gint and Ariel would be mad at me if we blew
I'm
up the
gonna-
workshop.
Cut to
I-
3 hours later, as we're making our way home. It's like, at least we can go into the workshop and
work out some
and-
of the stress.
work out some of our, and walking. And it's just an explosion of food everywhere.
So,
It's like, who do we have to kill?
are you doing it out front in one of the alleys on either side or out in the garden?
Assuming
Uh, we're doing it out in the garden.
So,
doing it out in the garden.
We're doing it in the garden.
as you step out into the garden, you notice something weird. Basically, the entire like left hand side of the garden has been set up as some sort of American Ninja style obstacle course leading up to the mushroom shack.
Ah, fuck yeah! Scuzz is gonna run that real quick.
Make an acrobatics check with disadvantage.
Okie dokie.
Once we get the Fooditron set up, that
20.
not going anywhere for the next
20.
hour.
You run up a ramp, jump over, wall run on one side, leap off of that, grab the other side, shimmy across, jump up onto a large plastic wrecking ball for some reason, swing across, and land on a platform in front of the mushroom shack.
Awesome. And then he does it back to get to Ithram.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
Russian judge gives you a 4.
He actually Scuzz tries to activate his beanie.
Oh no.
Roll me a d100.
It
Destroy my muscles.
doesn't work anymore.
One part of it doesn't work anymore.
Oops.
We've had this conversation already, Nikki.
Ithram,
It was
as
definitely
you're
supposed to be a high number.
Ithram, as you're looking over, Scuzz reaches up, flings the blades, and there's a.
Oh.
You don't get to make a dexterity save, but you do have evasion, so you only take half damage.
Does Scuzz fireball himself, or
So you take 32 points of slashing
God.
damage. As the blades on top of the beanie morph into swords and explode outwards in a rain of blades.
I thought you were a giant and thought it needed bigger blades.
Oh my god.
The beanie has been destroyed, and there are now 102 swords stuck in various aspects of the garden, the hut, and the wall, and Scuzz.
We're gonna call it an art piece.
Oh my god.
if the
30
32 damage is half?
Yes.
Holy shit! I would have been dead. I would have been super dead. Oh my god. Whew.
That's
yeah,
what
Scuzz
happens
is like,
when 102 swords go through your body.
yeah. Wow.
The stem on the top of the beanie is just still smoking.
The
Like
beanie's been
that-
like
And so
split
is
in several
Scuzz. He's
pieces.
smoking
Oh,
and bleeding.
alright.
Like that wouldn't have taken Valdeth out in one shot, but it would have come damn close.
That would have taken Scuzz out. And he would have been unconscious and bleeding and like dying, but he wouldn't have been like dead.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
at
he-
least I don't know what constitutes dead is like
It's double your
in
total
one
hit
hit
points.
you get total and then your
It's-
total again.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's double your
Yeah.
He has
total.
60 hit points.
Yeah.
He's fine.
So if halved it didn't take you down, double it would not have.
Instigate.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, Scuzz is just sitting there. He's definitely got like one. He got a bunch of scrapes and scratches on him, and then the one very large sword going through that scar that he already had from the bear bite, and he's just like.
Internal screaming.
Perhaps we wait a bit now. That what happened to your beanie?
It exploded.
I see that, but did you know that it could do that?
No.
I'm just sad I didn't do that. You didn't use it in combat when that happened because it does it to a lot of people right next to you.
Well,
Yeah, I'm glad I was below.
Yeah. But
So you've heard of the fastball special. Let me introduce you to the goblin frag grenade.
Oh my god, yeah.
Holy shit.
dear Lavisa, your machines work great. Can you get me more of these defective beanies?
Do you,
you think
put
I'm not going to do that?
do you put anything in the food, Tron?
Make sure there's no swords in there.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, Scuzz definitely like
You absolutely put a sword in the Foodatron and a
Yeah.
bunch of meat so you can have a skewer.
yeah, he absolutely like yanks the sword out. It's just like ow.
Right?
And
You
cook.
need that. No, never mind. Already
No,
out.
no, no, it's fine. Someone will come with bandages at some point. Science.
Make a D100 roll
Woo! For what?
for the Foodatron.
Putatron.
For the Frutatron. Okay. 76. Holy shit, that was so funny.
So you open the lid, and the food begins to gurgle
Oh no.
as you have
This
made
is where Scuzz
as you have
dies.
made a food elemental that rises up out of the Foodatron, and we cut back to the rest of the party.
Oh.
I have so many issues with this. Food is not an element.
It is now.
I mean, it is now.
It's a food
Jeremy,
construct.
And the power
Jer-
of belief is what makes
It's
it.
a viscous solid.
Jeremy, clearly you have not spent enough time in the Midwest. I've confronted many a casserole mental in my time.
Do you not know
I'm
what?
so
what,
angry right now. No.
So, Valdez and Tanya
Food is not an element.
are heading to
I mean,
Tanya's
there are
house.
elementals made out of not an element. Let's be honest here.
They're
It's
stupid too.
They're called
like
golems typically, but yes.
like elementals are just beings that are innately created from one like substance.
Also,
thing.
in this
Food
parti-
is not
also
one substance.
in this particular case, most of the elemental is chicken stock. So,
Then it's a chicken golem.
it's a water elemental, but just filled with food.
The spicy soup golem.
Which half of the rest of the party are we going to?
Valdez, Tanya, and Yint are going to Tanya's house. Carolina, you've sent off a letter. To Ariel, you're staying. I'm assuming, Carolina, are you also
Correct.
staying that?
Yeah,
So, in about.
but I was gonna go send off the information.
Yeah, you send off the information and stay with Ariel, I'm assuming. To be the contact for the guys.
Ariel will suggest that once initial contact's made, perhaps you should go to Tanya's family's place to provide a little extra protection. And no offense to Tanya's family's gods, but more competent protection. I'm sure they're very capable, but
I don't
I
think
know
they
that you're
need
here
to be
alone.
capable. I think her mother is quite terrifying enough. But I will go once the other
Yeah.
guys arrive.
when contact is made, yes. Absolutely.
So, after about 30 minutes, there is a drow at the gates wearing black leather armor with a long cloak and very large circle rimmed sunglasses because it's still daytime out. Long white hair in a braided ponytail, feminine it appears. Who opens the gate, walks through, seemingly by herself, up to the rest of
Do you
you.
recognize her by name or whatever?
You recognize this as the Geist you contacted. This is...
Sorry.
No, I had the name. I just have to actually grab it because
Did the thing.
I forgot to pick it up. This is Amory. This is a Geist Amory.
Carolina will sort of wave Geistomary, and I have my badge because, that's important.
Koenig's apprentice, right?
Correct, Carolina.
Pleasure. So, I understand there's a bit of a grisly scene inside. Care to walk me through it?
Of course.
Happily.
You were the one that went in, looking over at Ariel.
Yes.
Just nods and indicates towards the house.
Yeah, I will go ahead. Yep. While we're on the way,
The nobles are retiring to the Valkyrie estate, so they do not disrupt the scene or have emotional breakdowns on it.
She nods.
While we're on the way, I will give the overview of so she knows what she's getting into.
Hmm? Do you tell her about the letter?
Yeah, I'll hand that over.
She takes it.
This was found in the room.
How was it found?
Attached to my understanding, the grandfather of the family's forehead by knife. There's no way to read the note without removing.
Understandable.
But it was done with a minimum of mess.
Well then, she heads over to the door, opens it to the point where the body is leaning on it and won't let it open any further, and just pushes. And you hear the body sliding with the door as she pushes it open and steps inside, taking care not to step in the blood.
Yep.
She sort of looks around, takes it in.
It is our understanding that, and I will point towards the clock, the victim in there was killed sometime, a fair amount of time before the rest of these.
Looks around some more. Very well. Your Griffin Company has a house in the Mercenary Yards, correct?
Yes, and I will repeat our address.
We will send someone there to take witness statements sometime,
of course,
later today.
Very well.
And the way she ends that sentence gives you the impression that you can leave now.
Yeah.
Respectful nod, whatever the appropriate goodbye is for this social dynamic. I assume Ariel is leaving, but if not, I will drag her.
Yes, no. She's used to dealing with authority figures, whether Geists or otherwise.
As you turn around,
she knows when it's time to go.
As you turn around, you realize there are 6 other drow in the hallway that you didn't notice previously, even with your very high passive perception, Ariel.
Carolina seems not at all surprised or bothered.
Who have a variety of equipment in bags. As you walk past them, they walk in.
Yep.
I will sort of over my shoulder. According to the initial reports, there is a secret basement on the first floor study that way. I'll give the description Gent gave.
We'll make a thorough investigation.
It apparently has history with previous incidents in this house.
Thank you for the information.
And
you guys head out.
Once we're out, I want to send a message to Ithram and Scuzz at the Griffin Company house saying that it's very likely Geist will be coming by to take statements. If we're not back by them,
yeah, you send it off easily enough.
I stab myself with a bunch of swords.
You're not in Link Pearl range. This would be a mail.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, no, this is a letter that arrives at the house's mailbox and is presumably acquired by
Beam
one of
Scuzz
our
in the face and knocks
retainers.
him unconscious.
No, it takes more than that. It takes
No, Scuzz is-
102 swords
Scuzz
to
and,
knock Scuzz unconscious.
Scuzz and Ithram are currently engaging with a food elemental.
Engaged? Like we're getting married?
No,
Yes. I knew I would be getting married to
No.
food one day.
not that
Exciting.
kind of engaged.
You too?
So, Valdeth, Titania, and Kent,
Mhm.
you arrive at the Valkorian estate. As noted previously, there aren't actually any guards at the Valkorian estate. There never are. Titania,
No.
weirdly, like there have never been guards at your home.
Oh no, they're all
No.
dead too.
No.
Ever.
I mean, as it turns out, when the head of the
don't
family is
need
a
them.
god, you don't really need.
That's kind of the attitude most of the Valkorians take. It's like,
Yeah.
we're not actually worth that much politically because the throne is never going to be emptied. Two, it's like,
I mean, I'm just saying that's the kind of confidence that results in you coming home one day and it's abnormally quiet.
it's true. But
To be
this
fair-
time,
Also, I feel like they're more dangerous than their guards by and large.
also that's also true.
To be fair, the god emperor of mankind built an army of like 10,000 like superior superhuman beings. So
Yeah.
But it's not quiet. You can actually hear the sounds of activity and laughter. It seems like somebody is visiting with your sister.
I wanted to along the way real quick because
Yeah, go ahead.
we're away from the lawful people who are like, oh no, you have to like stick to the,
Yeah.
the things. Can't if you need something to sleep tonight or forget things for a bit, I've got a mushroom hut. Or the circle, or nothing gets through the circle.
Thank you, love.
Hmm.
I'll let you know.
Okay. You don't have to talk in this. It'll be fine. Are we?
Of course I do. We're making a social call.
Mm-hmm. Everything's normal. Okay. Head in. I
Yeah,
hear
there is the
sounds
sound of laughter in play.
Okay.
And as you follow it, you actually see your cousin Alexia, in her giant form, flying your baby sister around like an airplane.
Oh. Hello.
Your father, his hair long and green, sort of turns and looks. Hello, Titania. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Come on over. And he sort of indicates to a tea tray that is filled with snacks and drinks and everything. And Valdeth and Gent, it's a pleasure to see both of you.
Yep.
As a reminder, this
See you.
is the name is escaping me.
Pen.
Yes.
Yeah.
This
Polarin Havan.
yes, this is
This is
Polarin.
Valkorian.
Polarin Valkyrie. Or sorry, Diedrich Alexia, not Alexia Diedrich. Sorry, I got her name backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Diedrich Alexia.
Broth holding.
Yes, giant lady.
We love. I'm trying to mute myself, but I just wanted to say I love her and I miss her so much.
Yeah, she's flying your sister around. So yeah, this is Pelerin. Fairly light green skin, dark green hair, big green beard. Eyes also green. There's a lot of green in his color palette. And he has a basically like an afternoon tea set out with all manner of snacks and drinks. His bow and swords are sort of leaning up against the house off to one side. There is a very large dog bouncing around, sort of between Diedrich's feet as she's flying your sister around. So what brings you by?
Well, bumped into Mom yesterday, and
I know.
she, yeah, how annoyed was she on a scale of like 1 to 10?
Your mother never gets annoyed with you.
Being
I know you don't believe me.
On a scale of Scuzz to Ariel, how annoyed was she?
I know you don't believe me, but she was happy to see you were safe.
Anyway, she indicated very strongly that I should stop by and make a visit.
Yes.
Was she in?
No. She's very busy.
No.
However, I can give a call, and she should be here in a little while.
Okay, yeah. Let her know I'm here.
He puts fingers to his lips and emits a whistle that the three of you would swear was a bird, not him. And there's just like a flutter of wings as a flock of birds take off from the hedges nearby. She'll be here in about 30 minutes.
Ooh, I did get this recently. I'm gonna pull out Garnet. Summon this.
You are so adorable, he says, reaching over and can I hold her?
Yeah.
And he picks her up and sort of like cuddles the fox and like, it's been so long since
Gent's
I've
eyeballing that
seen-"
bow.
Sure. As far as you can tell, it's a fairly standard wooden bow. Very well made with some carving on it. With,
Okay.
Intricate craftsmanship, but it's a bow.
Okay.
And sort of cuddles it. It's been so long. It has been. Oh God, I haven't seen a carbuncle since the last time I was in the Feywild, which has been many, many, many years.
Yeah.
And he's like sort of
There
stroking
were a lot
the
of
fur.
them over there?
Not a lot. No, they're not very plentiful. They're very rare. But they are, if you can befriend them, they are the most loyal of friends. I miss mine, as he sort of strokes the fur.
This is Garnet.
And that is a very good name. And then he says something in a language you have no idea what it is. And Garnet tilts head back and repeats something in that same language.
Oh, it's not Sylvan?
Nope.
No, it's Carbuncle.
It's Carbuncle.
He knows Carbuncle. Goodness, I love it.
After a little while...
What'd you say?
I'll just introduce myself. They're very intelligent, but they can only speak their own language. They understand ours.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't speak. They just can't speak it.
Yeah. Cool.
After a few moments, Diedrich shrinks back down, holding your little sister. It's like, hello, cousin.
Hello. I'll
Walks
go
over,
give
holding.
them both a big hug.
Return the hug. She's not wearing her armor. She's wearing, she's got black slacks and what looks kind of like, or would be kind of like you'd refer to it as a tunic, but it's mostly like a tank top. It's like just sleeveless and sort of very makes the various runic tattoos on her arms much more visible, as well as the hefty amount of scarring. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Good. Okay, cool. And she, like...
Any word from the light wall?
Hands off your sister to Pellerin, who hands Carbuncle back to you. And
Oh no, I'm gonna like introduce those two. It's gonna be great. I'm busy.
No. I've been reassigned to the palace, so I'm on palace duty now.
Oh.
So I assume the light wall is good. Nobody's been sent back out to have to fix it, but I'm guarding great grandfather.
I'm assuming that's number
Count
one.
that back.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's all the way at the top.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Emperor.
Does he really need protection?
It's more honor guard kind of thing.
Wow.
You know?
That's
that I understand.
It's not that he
That's
needs
very
it. It's
cool.
not that he needs it, but that
Congratulations.
it's a thing that you have as part of a political machine kind of thing.
Yeah, the situation of an honor guard is very familiar to me, even among people who can quite easily take care of themselves.
Honestly, I'd rather be back on the front lines. It's kind of boring. It's mostly, the honor guard mostly serves as guards to visiting dignitaries and visiting heads of state. We had the king, the king of Argall was here not too long ago. That was neat. He is a very attractive man. She's sort of like, it's like she wants to say more but can't, kind of thing.
Where's Argall again? Because Jen probably knows, but Jack does not.
Argall,
remember.
the kingdom of Argall is where the ecclesiarchy of Kor was previously.
Right.
Like,
Right.
It's sort of like that whole end of that peninsula on the continent to the north.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just north of Twatapor there. Yeah.
Yeah, just
I think we're
east and north of Twatapor.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're having their annual nightly tournament soon, and they were extending invitations to several members of the honor guard here in Taram, as well as the military and a few others. And it's customary for
tournament.
visiting heads of state to see grandfather. So yes,
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, no, they have
be on the wall, but
they have a tournament every year, and I mean, one of their knights wins every year, but we send people every time.
yeah, that's very neat. Have they ever sent someone from Morn there? I ask Val.
Would I know if Morn has ever, specifically if any of the major kingdoms of Morn, but specifically Everstone,
Give me a history
has
check.
sent anyone to the tournament?
Give me a history check.
Wow, everyone's rolling like shit today.
You'd imagine
9.
You'd imagine so, but you don't know. Like it would make sense.
I was sort of sheltered growing up. But I can only imagine if I had to take a wild guess.
The fact that you don't know
Stonecarver.
The fact that you don't know though means that no one from Morn's ever won. Because if they had, there would have been a holiday made.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe
if I had to guess, House Grudgebearer probably has sent a few people. Maybe some from House Ironguard.
Oh, maybe if we're headed in that direction, I don't know.
I would probably surmise there's never been a Stonebeard at the tournament.
First time for everything.
They do,
no, we've just come back from the
Oh, she was just going to say
Uncharted Frontier.
Oh, really? You went to the other side of the light wall.
Mm-hmm.
Probably on a mission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How was it?
It was magic gets sucked out there. It was very strange.
Yeah.
But the delegation went pretty well. A lot of guards didn't make it back, but we were protecting the prince of Tunisia, so
how was he?
pretty good.
Good.
He holds his own.
Mm-hmm.
Also reasonably attractive, actually.
Yeah.
Good to hear. Well, glad you have had an eventful few months.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone back safely?
For the most part.
Yep.
Good.
Touch and go a bit with the dragon, but other than that.
Oh yeah,
that was you.
We bet a dragon. Yes.
Yes, the
Did
dragon.
you see?
The dragon that drops by was dropping us off back in the city.
Everyone saw. There wasn't a place
what
in the city you couldn't have seen. Mostly that a dragon just landed on the tower.
I tried to do like an announcement, but it was backwards.
Nobody remembers anything about any announcement. No.
Oh,
Where'd you put it?
Doing now. It's a little.
Where'd you
in the clouds?
Yeah.
Oh.
Figured we could like.
Yeah, no, mostly it was just a
Unfortunately,
dragon.
she wasn't thinking about the reading angle when she wrote the spell into the sky.
Well, the fact that not very many people spend their days staring up at the sky.
Tanya
And
does.
even if you
Tanya's
looked
here.
up and saw a dragon, you probably wouldn't register that the clouds say words now. You would probably be like, holy fuck, that's a very big
Dragon.
dragon.
Basically, yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
We had helped a dragon kill another dragon, and so the dragon gave us a lift back.
That's why I wish I was in the front lines. That sounds way cooler than being a bodyguard.
I don't think you'd see that one on the front lines as much as just in a griff company.
I mean, depends. Either way, it's actually doing things. Well, looks over at Pal. I should get going. I'm back for tea again later. He nods and smiles and waves and just gives you a hug. So good to see you, Titania.
Yeah. It was.
Say hi to everybody else for me.
I will.
And she,
And if you ever want to get out of, this is a little quieter, but if you ever want to get out on the town while you're stuck up there, just give me a call.
she gives you a grin.
Send a letter.
Unfortunately, I have very specific duties, so.
It's fair. Responsible.
And Gent will, in giant, as she's leaving, say, "Good luck, stay safe."
She'll say back the typical giant response, which is, "Don't let a tree bust your balls."
Right. Gent's like, yeah, can't really argue with that.
I have no idea what was said.
That's the giant's farewell, basically.
Right, yeah.
After she leaves, the air gets colder. Not like,
No way.
not like, it doesn't like, there's no like chill or anything. You, Titania, specifically just feel a chill down your spine as the door to the house opens and your mother walks out.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm glad you're here in time for tea. Pellerin.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks over. Yes, my dear. And he sort of waves his hand at the spread that you guys haven't touched yet. Come, sit with me. And she goes over like to the garden seats and chairs that are over there and sits down as Pellerin begins to play on the ground with your sister. Your father
Yep,
is really
I
like,
go
your
and
father
sit
is very much like a kid and no one ever calls him on it.
It's great.
It's probably because most people know that the minute he needs to, he can grab that bow and bullseye a target at 200 feet. So
Yeah. He's like a hero out of legend. It's fine. He's got eccentricities. It's okay.
You wonder where Titania gets it from.
Yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Have you not met all of my family?
Gent is trying to read the situation and figure out if we're supposed to go sit with Titania and her mom or stay here and
give me an insight
be
check.
company. Okay. Come on, keep rolling like shit. Ooh, better.
She was addressing all three of you.
Okay. Gent will grab his cup and go along.
It's about this time that Ariel and Carolina would be walking up towards the house.
Okay.
So the two of you see Titania, Gent, Valdeth. You actually would have seen Diedrich walking away, but she would have been going in the other direction. And you see Titania, Gent, and Valdeth moving over to sit down next to Titania's mom. Do the two of you walk up to join them, or do you
Walk up.
Okay.
Yes. I will. Yeah. I will go ahead and walk up.
Ah.
Ariel, right?
Yes.
It's a pleasure.
Pleasure as always.
Please join us for tea. And Carolina. She'll indicate as well.
Nod.
So,
As I sit down, I'll just say, we are going to have later today some people come talk to us at the house.
Okay.
what about?
My family was all just murdered.
Well, she looks over at you, and you can actually see, like, genuine concern on her face. Do you need help with anything, Gent?
Possibly in the future. I don't know what additional information the Geist will find. And my mother is convalescing out of town. So I don't know yet.
She reaches a hand over and puts it on your wrist. And, like, the other hand. Surprisingly warm for the cold vibes that you get. Her hands are surprisingly warm. If there's anything you need, we take care of family.
And he's got us.
I know.
Thank you, Lady Valkyrie.
Takes her hands back, leans back. So, tell me about the dragon. And she's like
Which
looking.
one? The one
She's
that we
looking
killed or the one that we
directly at
helped?
Titania when she says that too.
Well, I was a little bit indisposed for a while, just a upset ether. But I think we trying to remember.
Do you want me to? Valdeth looks over at Titania. Do you want me to retell this one?
Yeah. Val
Alright.
is very good at telling it.
So, on our way back to the city of Taram, when we encountered the city of Morvigdun under siege, part of the thing that they had asked us about was to see if we could find their supply caravan, as you know. As it turns out, their supply caravan had been attacked by a dragon who had stolen something from another dragon, one Max and Dantalus, who recruited us to see if we could potentially retrieve the things that had been stolen from him while he took the fight to this other dragon.
A scroll.
I'm familiar with Max. I'm glad to hear he's doing well.
Yeah. And we dealt with this other dragon's subordinates and spawn in its lair, retrieved the things that Max wanted, and after the other dragon's death, Max offered us a flight back to Taram.
That is very much like him. Well, that must have been exciting.
It was certainly a day.
It's not every day you deal with ancient dragons on such a rapid scale, I would say.
No, not typically.
And prior to that, you were traveling for several months, correct?
Yes, in the uncharted frontier.
Tell me about that.
Uncle Barnabas asked us to be one of the Griffin companies to accompany the Prince of Tunisia and his party out to find the center of it.
He must have very much confidence in your skills.
We had a couple of ones. We're on the light wall before, and it went pretty well. So
Barnabas has always been a very good judge of character.
I'm sure the news of what we found will probably circulate among the higher branches relatively quickly.
Yes, I've already been informed. So how'd you enjoy the journey?
The desert was not the kindest.
But we had the right footwear.
And she's still like looking at Titania. Like, it feels like she's trying to like read your reactions and get a sense of.
Yep. But it was a little bit long. There was a brief falling into a hole for a bit, but I look over at Gent and Val.
Ent is sitting there with his hand on his face, and he drops the fingers so that only the two that were on the monkey's paw are sticking up for a minute, and then he closes them as well.
Okay.
So these two fingers, right?
Yeah, right, yeah. So he's just... And then he's down. Just kind of gives you a little bit of an arch look like, you want to tell?
There's a moment where Argall just looks and sees, where unintentionally or not is that flipping the bird pointed at?
Roll me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll me a d8.
Whoever is
Carolina just wants Titania to talk to her mother.
Whoever is immediately left of Gent's face, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of pointing at Valdeth.
A little bit.
As long as it's not pointing at Mom.
That would have been
fine.
That would only have been if it was a natural 1.
Because that would have been fucking hilarious. So there's she just sort of arches her eyebrow but lets it go. You understand that she recognizes the visual representation of, it looks like perhaps there is some tension in this whole dynamic right now. Some passive aggressive moves.
Gen's sense of emotional appropriateness is kind of just swinging wildly at this point, so yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why.
Gen's got a lot of emotions to process right now.
Yep.
From multiple different sources.
We had a longer time in the city than we were expecting, but it was a pretty good journey, I think. And then before that, we were back here.
I'm glad to hear it.
That's kind of what's been going on.
Ariel, make an insight roll. Just because you're slightly disconnected from it a little bit. Ariel and Carolina can too as well.
$25.
Very good.
Almost as high as it goes.
Yeah. So both of you can tell with a 25 and an 18 that neither Titania nor her mom are used to talking to each other.
No.
And her mom is desperately trying to connect to her daughter in a way that she never connects to anybody, and that is part of the reason why she's coming off so imperious, because she's used to dealing with people on a very professional and like regimented level, and she is completely unable to break free of that mentality. And so she's like genuinely asking for details and then categorizing them, and you can see the categorizing happening behind the eyes, and that's what's giving that sort of standoffish vibe. Whereas
yeah, that totally tracks. Unfortunately, Carolina has no idea how to interfere in this situation other than say nothing.
You have literally the two worst people in this party to be aware of this. Because, yeah.
And Valdeth, well, and the other three just can't make that roll because they're too connected to it.
Right.
Even though Valdeth would be probably the best person to try and do that.
Yeah, but you still have the empathy for your fiancé that's sort of standing in the way of that.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad to hear your adventures have been fruitful.
Though we do have link pearls if someone wants to, give Valdeth a hint.
Link pearls, you still have
You
to
still have to talk.
speak.
Not loudly.
Right.
No, but you're sitting
Yeah,
at
but
a
if you're
table.
all sitting around the exact same table, right? Yeah.
That's fair. I keep.
Unless you want you maybe excuse
Certainly
one
the
away.
Fey goddess doesn't have a high perception.
I had sort of because the conversation had been of wanting Carolina there to stand guard. I had sort of in my mental image, she was just sort of like in the back, just observing the thing and just being like.
I mean, despite being at the table with you, Carolina very much projects that atmosphere of someone who's standing in the corner of the room.
And also
standing in the corner while seated at the table.
Like, she's actually decently good at social invisibility.
yeah, and also Annette would not have stood for somebody standing way off in the distance. Carolina wasn't getting away with that, with not sitting at the table regardless.
I know.
That's just for Valda. That's just for William's mental image because
Yeah.
it's very much you're all sitting down to tea. So
tea and a conversation where I want to talk to my daughter about things.
So the awkward conversation proceeds for a while before eventually Pellinor, dear, you probably need to get back to work now. And Annette, you're right. Well, I'm glad we had a chance to sit down and talk.
Oh, this is relevant. Sorry, this is a bit of a weird question, but would you happen to have anyone who might know where I could acquire some ironwood and maybe the knowledge of how to work it?
Ironwood shapers would all be in Ilhanador. None of them.
I need to make a trip down there soon.
They're all native there.
That's
I need to make a trip down there soon.
again another look. That's the other thing. Is that so Get and Val and I are gonna get married. I mean, Val and I already were, but
She looks at you. She looks at Gent. She looks at Valdeth. I'm very happy for all three of you. Check an insight check.
Yeah, I also.
Tanya needs to make an insight check. It's a... Oh, I'm gonna spend my inspiration on that.
Go ahead.
Let's do it. I think I have 2 left. Yep. 16.
Slightly better.
So, with a pair of 16s, both of you can tell, she absolutely meant every word of that. And with that bombshell, as she stands up and heads back to work, that's where we're going to end for this week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Later.
Goodbye.